presents the TUBCAST.
Oh boy! Welcome to the TUBCAST, where you can Venmo us for our best plays. It's an exciting time to be in the XFL, and our president agrees. Nobody kneels here. We just salute. Welcome one, welcome all. My name is Eric, and as always, I'm joined by Kyle.
Hello.
And Jeremy.
Hi.
And not Nathan, because for some reason we just can't have 4 people on any of our freaking shows anymore. Trevor, Nathan, but
Bunch of jerks.
At least we got Kuipers, the most loyal of us all, the
That's
one
true.
who's always here, the one who gives up on everything, the one who gives up his entire life to work the knobs. He just wants
for nothing.
He just
other
wants
than
to be
fame.
here. He wants to give up, on having a relationship with a lady. So if you're single and you're interested, Kuipers would be very interested.
Yes.
He's just not busy. He's not available on Wednesdays and Thursday nights.
But he'll go on a date with
Sorry.
you every other night of the week if you would like.
Have we made him like a Tinder or anything?
We should make Kuipers a Tinder.
We so
I
should.
feel like
I think we talked about that once.
I feel like the collective group mind thinking here would find you a hot date.
Should we set it up tonight?
Let's crowdsource Kuipers Tinder.
Boy.
Wait, Kuipers, we'll need your phone. Can you get that Tinder app installed while we're doing this? And then we'll get it all set up for you.
Go ahead.
We're
We'll
gonna
just
get-
pass the phone down,
And then we'll take
after you
a
unlock it.
picture with your lovely Pixel 2.
Yeah.
And we'll get it rocking and rolling.
By the way, how's that profile picture doing for you?
Oh, thank you. By the way, yes, I never got acknowledged on the show, but if you see me on any of my social, I'm looking very philosophical, and I have all of that to thank. All that thanks goes to Kuipers.
And my Android
and his
phone.
Android phone. You know what? I will not argue with you, especially the Pixel 3. Now he has a Pixel 2. Pixel 3, I like that camera a lot. Like those photos are nice.
It's nice.
But I mean, hey, it's got a little higher contrast, than the iPhone, and you can do that through an app, like if you want to adjust it. But if you want it right out of the box, it looks good. Not gonna argue with you, Kuipers. I don't know what you're getting at. Are you barking up a tree? Are you trying to trigger me? Are you trying to say Eric likes Apple and he shouldn't? He should switch to Android? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that's not gonna happen right now. Okay.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure.
He is sure.
Okay.
The only reason is, like, I've said this 1,000 times. I know Jeremy's had the same sentiment to a certain extent. But
Check the
once you're in, huh?
Check audio. The chat says it's super quiet.
Oh, did you do Soundflower?
Yeah, I did sound. It's nothing. I did the stuff I
We're
normally
super
do.
quiet.
It's because you keep turning the volume down on us.
I didn't turn down anymore. I just did it last night.
So he cranked it way down for intro music,
No, but that doesn't. That
and you super quiet.
Is it any quieter than it was last night, Jolliver?
Do you remember?
I'm sorry.
The 21st of September?
We need
Do you
to.
need to turn something
We
up
need
somewhere?
to boost it somewhere else then,
The
because I
day
can't
the
really
clowns died.
do it. You guys. Oh wait. Oh, you know what happened?
No, you're gonna tell us.
I figured it out, guys.
Hey, hello.
It's all better now. I turned down
That sounds a little bit louder now
I
in
turned
my
down the
headphones.
output that goes to
Does.
the headphones instead of my headphones. I was turning
Did you
down.
need so-
I thought I turned down my
Oh,
headphones,
snap.
and I hit the wrong one. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I
So
apologize.
you turned us all down.
So I've
turned
been
us all down.
ranting for
So
like
now-
a half hour.
Now Jolliver's gonna be like, "Holy crap, this is loud."
Yeah,
It's-
it's all better now.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thank you to our
Loyal.
patron.
Our audio listeners probably
Yeah.
will be like, "What on earth are you guys talking
Yeah, it sounds
about?"
fine.
Yeah.
Sounds like normal.
Yeah.
Kyle must have leveled it.
Although it actually might not, because this is like an analog, like manual audio thing that
Oh.
it might actually be
We'll
bad
see.
for
but
them
Kyle
too.
can post fix
Should-
it. He should stay here
Should
late tonight so
levelize
that he
it.
can fix it.
Shut up! You don't want me to stay here late in
I
the
don't
studio.
care.
Yeah,
It's not gonna stop me.
I know we're not supposed to talk about video games, but holy crap, guys! Red Dead's out in like
Oh my god!
2 hours.
So we're gonna be done here shortly.
We're gonna wrap this up at 10 o'clock
This
sharp.
has been a great show. Our Patreon peeps, let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, I know. We can't
Those
play
are
yet, Jeremy.
Patreon core.
Jeremy, we can't play
Jeremy,
yet.
oh.
So
Not there yet.
I mean, if we quit the show now, it'd be pointless.
I know. right?
Yeah, I mean, we just got here.
Yeah.
A 10-minute, less than 10-minute
But
show.
I'd have just enough time to maybe finish it. No, I wouldn't.
You don't have
No,
enough
you
time to
don't.
finish.
You don't have enough
Assassin's Creed.
time. Just accept that you are not going to finish the game you're currently playing.
I looked it up online. We're talking about video games. I'm sorry.
100
But
hours.
no, but I looked. No, that's like a completionist nut job thing. But if you can beat the game at level 42, like the story.
Okay.
So you're a few levels away. So,
Okay.
So
So I could do it.
but not in a few minutes, not in an hour. There's no way
mean-
you could beat it in an hour.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's gonna take you an hour to get to level 41 at least
Yeah, it's
from where you're at now. Anyway,
So welcome to Deja Vu,
welcome to
where
the
we
loop.
talk about what we talked about
You know
last
what?
night.
But this show says we can talk about whatever we want.
Not video games though. It's against the rules.
Yeah, it's
Is
against
it,
the rules.
But is it stated?
It's against the rules.
Is it written
this is
down?
this is the Nathan show.
Did you guys hear about the
Even though Nathan isn't
XFL
here.
saying that the manager or the owner or whoever owns XFL or
the guy
president,
from the WWE?
is it Ed McMahon?
I
Or
think
not
so.
Ed McMahon. That's
Ed
Ed McMahon is
Ed
the
McMahon?
Ed McMahon is dead. He was the guy on the Tonight Show.
Wow.
Wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Is he dead?
He had blonde hair, right?
He died in
Let me
2009.
Did he?
He
Yes.
still there.
Yes.
Right.
I lost the death line there.
No, what's his name? Why can't I think
Um,
of is it McMahon? I think it's McMahon though. I think the guy that owns the WWE.
Give me a second. We're Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah, it's his cousin.
I was-
Yeah.
I don't
no.
know.
It's his little brother, Vince.
Vinny.
Anyways, yeah, that was what it was. But I think it was him or somebody. Anyways, at the XFL was saying, "Hey, we should do this thing like where the fans can Venmo a tip to the players if they do a cool play." And I was just like, "That sounds like a bad idea."
I mean, seriously, is it 1999 again? Like,
Are they
was
only
Vin-
going to do it if it's a?
well, no, I'm
but
just
was
good
Venmo
play?
and
I'm just saying the fact that XFL is going to be back. It was it played on so many stupid gimmicks, and now like with the science that's behind all of the concussions and all the other issues, that now there's way more carefulness in the NFL and the NCAA, any level of football, and the XFL's like, no, we're gonna play this like we normally would, and it's gonna be just as rough, if not rougher.
and nobody's gonna kneel during the anthem.
Yeah, no one kneels.
I mean, he's just trying to placate to his buddy Trump, right?
yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
pretty much.
I mean, Trump was in the ring a few times for WWE.
That's
and-
true.
I mean, anyways, XFL. I mean, wow, who boy, who doggy.
What? I mean, it is. It feels like it is the right move for that league and everything that they
What,
are
to
trying
have
to do.
Venmo
to be,
tips?
to be just something absolutely stupid like that. Like it's almost like they saw that. Oh, hey, there's this thing called Twitch that you can tip your video game player that you watch that you like if they do something really cool.
That's a really
So
good
let's
idea.
Do it for football.
If you're watching right now, it's a really cool thing.
That is a
Yeah.
really cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like, to me, it just initially sounded like, wow, Vince McMahon is cheap and he doesn't want to pay his players enough.
True.
So he's like, hey, we could have the fans pay them directly through Venmo. Which, honestly, stuff like Venmo, like, don't you have like a little address or a QR code or something they could put up on the screen.
Sure.
And they'd just be like, Jimmy Footbutt just made a play that won the game, and then they'd put his like face up and he'd be doing like his pose, and then like next to it would be a
Yeah.
QR code that you could scan and Venmo him a tip.
I mean, this sounds like the stupidity kind of sport league that we should be running. Like,
I mean,
I mean, with your acumen right there, just the idea of the guy doing his like dance or something, and there's the
he's standing on the screen.
if
He's
they
like,
if they just broadcast on Twitch, they could just do bits.
yeah, that's true. Show us your bits.
yeah, show us your bits.
I don't know. I don't get it. But the XFL is just football inside, right?
No, it's
no,
outside.
that's arena football.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
what's
that's
the,
completely
so what's
different.
XFL?
So the XFL was when they
It's just harder
decided
hitting.
It was harder hitting.
It's NFL
You-
blitz of real football.
Yeah, it was.
How
it
do
was
people hit
essentially that.
harder than they hit? I don't get
No,
that part.
so there's not the same. At least the original, there wasn't like the same kind of rules and regulations. So there was a lot of things like you couldn't fair catch a punt or anything.
Yeah.
So
tackle.
you were gonna get hit if
okay.
you didn't try to run. There was no
Even if you
kneeling.
tried to run.
Love that. No fair catch, you wussy.
Yeah, you don't be a wussy and just stand there and take the ball at that point.
I mean,
I'm gonna tackle you
down
so
with-
you take the ball at that point.
I'm down with that.
I hope they adopted the blitz 30-yard first down too. That would be great.
I don't remember what all it lasted one season and then they folded because they could not afford it. But I mean, they had like announcers that were on the sidelines, like standing next to the coach and talking to him throughout the game, and like all kinds of just very WWE feeling type of stuff that was all centered around the league, which is just. It's insane to me that is something that is coming back, just the way that it was so much more reckless and like, this is going to be the rougher football. And, football is a dangerous sport in and of itself.
This is like, all right, there's two plays. You can run the ball or you can Hail Mary, but nothing else. And it's just like
yeah, just like
that's
NFL Blitz.
Yeah, that's it. I kind of just want to play NFL Blitz. If we ever get like a real studio that's not in our parents' basement, could we get an NFL Blitz
Fair.
cabinet there,
Yes.
just like in our offices?
Sure.
So
Do it.
we could play it.
We don't
well,
have any-
actually, when I
Arcade
win
cabinet.
the $1.6 billion on Friday,
I thought they drew for that last night.
I thought it was Friday.
No, they drew. I think they drew
I think
for
they
it
drew last night,
But
and I
did
think it
anybody
rolled over.
It rolled over again.
I think so.
Oh, then yeah, when I totally get the $2 billion.
What is it up to? Someone should.
I don't know. Like
do a
Sunday, it was like
fact check.
1.6 billion.
Because we should
Instead of
all
the-
just like I
The
think
Mega Millions, is that
maybe
what
if we
it
could all
is?
scrounge up like $40 between the four of us, we could like get 40 tickets.
$1.6 billion ticket has been sold.
Oh no.
Lotto
Sad.
officials say yesterday. So that means one person is going to get 1.6 billion minus 55% in taxes.
Oh, that's a sad
Uh,
story.
And then if they take it in a lump sum, even less. But you
Well,
know,
Oh, poor lump sum person. That sounds like a sad
Right?
choice.
see, I wouldn't take the lump sum just so that I could be like, no, that gets them off easy. Give me the money for the rest of my life. I'm fine with that.
Well, yeah, because I
It'd
mean,
be 30 years as an annuity.
imagine splitting up.
I mean, think about it. It's still
1.6
enough.
billion in
That's
30
actually
years.
a safe
do it.
bet, right? You're
Yeah.
making more money, and you can't just go spend it all at once. You at least have a year cap.
Where do you spend
every
1.6
year.
billion at once, though?
Well,
You buy a tech company or
it's,
something?
Yes.
amazing how many times people who win the lottery, like there's like
I would
Lotto
like to
Winners
invest.
Anonymous, where they're like people who won the lottery and have completely like screwed up their lives because of it, and now they're broke and you know.
You mean like most sports athletes?
Wait,
Yeah, well, exactly. Anyone,
So-
pretty
Yeah.
much anyone who gets a ton of
Is-
money with zero
is,
effort.
Is that it, or is there another zero?
No,
before-
that's
No, that's 160
that's
million.
160
Now-
No, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's
You need another zero.
Oh, I got to turn the calculator this way. Is that it?
Yeah.
that's 1.6
So-
billion. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to divide that by 30.
Yep.
'cause
And
I
then
don't
you
know
probably
math.
want to. Then you probably want to divide it again by 45.
But-
Like
or
times it
t-
by 45.
Or just cut it in half, probably.
Yeah,
just
just
to
to
be safe.
be safe.
Let's say divide it by 2. That's only going to be $26.66666 million a year that you're
Well,
gonna
But what if we
figure,
all
figure
pooled
the
in?
6.66666 is gone in paying for people to help manage your
money.
wealth.
Okay, so
So it's
20
only
million.
20 million a year.
oh man, I couldn't do that. That would be
I
hard.
could blow through that
Yeah, I
mean, that would be
year,
do it.
every year for 30 years.
Yeah.
And in 30 years, wow, I'll be old enough to die.
Mm.
So I think it's doable.
I mean, honestly,
I mean, I'd probably set $1 million
if
aside
you
for
spent
each of my
if you
kids
spent
a year,
20
right?
million in a year, that would be maybe a bit much.
Like maybe the first year, but you'd think you'd learn before you're 30. Don't do this.
I mean,
right?
I'd buy like a really nice house, like $1 million house.
I mean, just $1 million
With a nice fence around it.
Okay, maybe a
and
$3
with a
million.
huge. I
$3
mean,
million
we're talking an
house.
acreage.
Get yourself a real nice
100
fence around
acres.
it. No one can break in. Fort Knox security.
I only want the space so I can shoot my cannons that I buy and fly my F-18 and fly my F-18 and have a place to land.
you have a whole airport. Jeremy
Wait,
wants-
hang on. Okay.
I mean, that's only like 1 year's worth of money.
Can we
It's only,
address-
it's only like 1 year.
Wait, can we address
on.
how long Jeremy must have thought about this before? I'm gonna buy an F-18 if I ever win the lottery.
It's because he already bought a
F-16,
ticket.
let's be real. I want
He
the
already
fighter
bought a
plane.
ticket.
No, I didn't.
Oh man.
No, where? I mean, with your
kidding.
acreage here, do you even have enough
I'm
room
gonna buy
for
a country, an
Do you-
island.
you're
Actually,
go-
I'm buying an island for sure.
gonna buy
buying a country?
He bought Cuba.
bought
You heard
Cuba.
it here. Jeremy
I'd
owns.
buy an island for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's too many bugs on islands.
Not really. Like
really?
Not when you have $20 million
Is it-
a year
is
to have
it-
someone else kill them.
yeah, but isn't Hawaii like known
Yeah,
for not
it's
having
amazing.
bugs
Is it?
because
I've never been there.
they don't have like windows like a lot of places because they don't
Yeah,
have a
same
bug
thing
problem.
like in the Bahamas.
But they've
and
got
stuff
a
like that.
they've got a volcano problem.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you know, just
that's-
just stay clear of that. You'll
Yeah.
be fine.
That's why you get one of them islands just north of
Okay,
the
so
Aussies.
this exaggerated real quickly from Jeremy's acre that he was going to buy with a nice house.
Acreage.
Well, that would be the
acreage
first house.
to
Would be
then
that,
a place that was large enough to land and take off an airplane.
which would make sense if it was an island. 'cause
to
you'd
then
have a way to
being
get
an
in and out, you know,
He's just like
of your house.
screw flying cars. I ain't got time to wait for the future.
Right.
I'm
bought a plane now.
I'm just gonna get an airplane.
I'll pay Elon Musk to make me something.
A little flying car that gets you back to the States.
I
whenever you
don't
want.
know if you have. I don't know if you would have enough money with that to
pay
sway
Elon.
And now
Elon
you know
Musk.
why I would make sure that I took the 30 year so that I wouldn't spend the 1.6 billion day one.
I like how creative you got with this. Like, I'm impressed. I think I was like, well, I would want some money to give to charity. I would want to like split up
He'd
some
give
money
$5 to
between
charity.
my family, and then
Well, I did decide. You know how
I'd buy a nice
everyone would
house.
have to get money, right? Like everyone you know. I think.
yeah, it would be hard.
need
I
it.
don't know if I'd give everyone money though.
I feel here's.
I would. What I would do is
You
I would
not buy us houses.
I would create a business where I could employ my friends.
Yes.
Yes,
and then,
absolutely.
And then
That
I would,
would've been
I
fun.
would,
Yeah.
Can you
I
pay
would
us
make them
obscenely?
earn money in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would be like, here,
I would not work for you.
That's fine.
In that
Wait,
scenario.
wait.
you wouldn't
Hang
work
on.
for me for
What-
like $1 million a year,
If
I mean,
what
I
is my
might
role
for a couple years.
in this?
and then leave.
What is my role in this company working for you?
It's whatever you want, Kyle. You're his friend. I don't know.
No,
See, I'm down with that.
if I had the money to do that, like it would just be like a big media company.
It would just
I would
become Men in
build.
a
Yeah,
Tub.
it would be his plan.
Men in a Tub stuff.
I mean,
Or you would rename it.
He'd rename it
would
because it'd be all his money.
It'd be the ETW.
That's right.
That's
or
weird.
something.
That's
Yeah.
no, that's really.
It's almost
gross.
like the EW.
Well, I
but with a
decided
T
what
in
I
the
would
middle.
what I would do is I'd create a spreadsheet
Great.
and I'd put everybody.
exciting.
I'd put everybody.
It's like I could
that-
finally afford a legal copy of Microsoft Office.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was going to use the free Google spreadsheet app, but the free Google spreadsheet app.
Because you got to pinch every penny
yes,
now.
absolutely.
Once you are a billionaire, you have to pinch every
Well, you
single
gotta
penny.
you gotta take care
Squeeze
of your
it
money.
real good.
But no, I'd put everyone on there that I thought was within my circle, and then I would
None of us are on that circle.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
But
go.
then
That's
I would
sweet.
associate columns
Mhm.
to different categories of people, like
Okay.
immediate family members, extended family,
Close friends.
as they go out, close friend, and then each of those I would assign a point value to.
Okay, cool. So
Okay,
you could rate
So
your friends.
I could
rate your
I
friends
could rate
and family.
everybody I know, and then the rated numbers would be calculated into a financial package,
Uh-huh.
which then would be the Christmas gift that year to each of those individuals.
Okay.
And then, of course, there would be people that would be on the list that I would just immediately strike and say, I'm actually okay not giving them any money because I don't want them to be around in my life anymore.
Yeah.
So
But
what
that's
ki-
a small
so
percentage.
what kind of package
people
would
in this room.
Kuipers
No, I'm
get?
kidding.
Yeah. Okay. If you get $20 million a year, how much of the money are you giving to Kuipers?
If I get,
Where's
I haven't figured that part
Where's
out
Kuipers
yet.
at on the spreadsheet?
Yeah,
I mean,
where's
he probably gets paid to do Men in a Tub at that point.
Oh, okay. You pay him. Okay.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
making a living
Yeah.
doing Men in a Okay.
I mean, you got to figure by the time you give it to family, and like there's things that I'd pay off my parents' house. I'd probably give my brothers, I'd throw them a bone, just
So
that
Kuipers,
they
you're
would never
making
come
minimum
ask me
wage
It'd
for
be
now.
money
like
later.
that little bit. It'd be a little bit spiteful though, wouldn't it? Sometimes.
Oh, it absolutely
just
would
a little
be.
bit.
It would be like,
yeah, take
and
my
it-
money.
And,
you need
and
it.
I know at least one of my brothers
I
watches
will.
this on YouTube, and I think you would understand.
Jolliver is asking in the chat, do Patreon get extra points in the system?
I think there would be there'd obviously be a Patreon only room at the new studio
oh, where they could come
where
and
they
watch.
could come and watch live. Yeah,
and
I
they
think
could
so.
they could give us
And they
tips
would-
in person, there,
Exactly.
like
Oh,
at a
okay.
strip
Exactly.
club.
Show us your bits in
And
person.
there'd be free benefits
That sounds weird.
there, like chips and pop and stuff.
Oh, okay. He's gonna fatten you up on soda and salt.
I like that Jolliver is quoting Kyle out of context. Making a living doing men in a tub. Yes. Kyle, 2018.
Well, I mean, it will be nice for Kuipers to finally make minimum wage doing this show.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
minimum wage equals a living.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I'm definitely not giving you $15 an hour. I don't subscribe to that.
I mean, what's the minimum wage? 14, 12, something? I don't know.
9.
Is it 9?
Seven
It's
something
it's
in
9
Iowa.
in Nebraska.
I thought it was 10 in Nebraska.
Yeah, I thought it was at least double digits.
Maybe
I
they
don't know.
changed it. I don't know.
Oh well. You're making $9 or $10 an hour, Kuipers. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's not a living.
for 2 hours, 2 nights a week.
For an hour
We'll
at a
be
time.
doing more shows.
It's only
because,
$7.25 in Iowa.
I mean,
Yeah.
depending on what our packages are.
Okay. No,
Here's the thing, though: you'd all have to sign non-disclosures so that you
what
couldn't
am I
tell.
disclosing?
Yeah,
so
what
that
are we
you
not
couldn't
disclosing?
tell each other how much you got, otherwise you would lose everything.
No, I think you just put it all on the table and just be like, this is
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
probably
willing.
true.
And like, if
That's
you guys
probably
don't like
true.
it, you can walk.
Yeah,
Like,
because then I could keep the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to be my friend, don't take my money.
yeah.
I mean,
So,
Yeah, as long as we can
Is that
make
weird,
a living
though? Would you
doing
guys
men in
feel
a
like
tub.
you were being bought to be their friend?
not if it was enough.
Wait, you're saying guilt disappears with?
Oh yeah, dollar amounts
Dollars?
disappears. It disappears from like.
I don't know.
See,
I
here's
feel
the
like
thing,
I'd
though. I
feel
feel like I would want to give my friend something. Like, it's not like a buying
no.
my friends. It's a, hey, you were my friend when I had no money, and I
yeah.
don't want you to leave because you feel like you can't afford the lifestyle I have.
Yeah, like when we go get like on our champagne and boat trips every
Exactly.
weekend.
Well, it'd be
I
on
want
my,
you to be
it'd
able to.
on my boat.
I want to make sure you can afford a bottle. you know.
Eric, here's the thing that I don't know about you though. Either way, you or me, because I know that anytime one of us like takes care of the other person's lunch or
Yeah.
something like that, I know we both are the same way. We're just like, okay, I don't want to be the one who owes them.
Yeah, I know. It'll take me. I'll
so
do
in
everything.
some way, you're saying it has to be enough money that you'll get over the do I
oh,
owe him?
Yeah.
it's
No,
a
but-
real Dwight and Andy
But
situation.
no, I
here.
think. Okay, hear me out. That's why I think that my solution to this. Of course, I think my solution.
Yeah,
better.
of course you do.
Of course
It's
I do,
wrong,
right?
Obviously.
but of course
Obviously,
I
you're
think it
right.
is.
But
Yeah.
but I guess the reason I do is because then it gives the person, they at least feel like they're earning it some way or another. Like at least it's not just a handout. So like you're employing them to do a task in this business, and you're probably overpaying them because they are your friend.
right.
But see, I feel like that almost that buys time.
Yeah, which is I think that's
mean,
that's fine though.
I think especially in the situation
Because
that-
there's an easy out then. Because like if you just gave me, let's say you were willing to give me $1 million, let's say that,
Yeah.
like whatever, and you're like, just because you're my friend, I'm giving you $1 million, and I'm just like, well, guess what?
Not your friend
Not your
anymore.
friend anymore.
Well, think
and
about
I,
it this
and
way,
I
though.
don't mean that, but then like that's fine. You should be able to do that. You should be able to make your choice that way.
Sure.
But
then
if
you'll know
it-
who your friends are.
But if it's like an employment situation, it's like a much more like, hey, I'm moving on from this job. Like it was great. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna go do something else now. And then you're like, okay, well, I don't have to pay you anymore. And like then then it's you're moving on. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So even if it was just like, hey, employ me for $500,000 a year, employ me for
So
that.
here's what I think.
And then
I
it's
think
fine.
I think we
It's a
both
lot of
have
money.
we both have a similar like we've talked about
Mm-hmm.
if we could take this or whatever that is a business to something. I think we both have similar ideas or concepts of what
Yeah.
that would look like. And I think both of us would probably want to make that a reality either
Mm-hmm.
way. But the way I look at it is if I won the lottery, everyone who knows me effectively is winning the lottery too,
Okay.
but to a smaller extent
Yeah.
based on how close they are to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
I mean,
you
that's
see what I
that's
mean?
very generous of you. I'll say.
Well, I'm not saying it's gonna be a ton. I didn't put dollar amounts around it. You said $1 million. That's 20. That's what? That's 5% of my annual income.
that. Yeah, 5% of 20.
If you're paying off,
I got you. No, I was.
Or
Yeah,
no,
but
yeah,
I mean, you're paying your executives of your business.
Well, that would be
essentially
different.
what
that
this
would be
is.
different. No. If you're starting a business and you have people who want to get into that business with you, and you're going to pay them to get it off the ground, and to do that, I'd probably put like how many years before it has to be self-sufficient, all those sorts of things that come around it. But I still think that there needs, like, in my opinion, there has to be some kind of a upfront windfall that, hey, I got lucky and you're my friend when I wasn't lucky, so
Yeah.
here's something. And then there's other people where it's like, here's hush money, never come ask me for money again.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different level of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
but
a
you know what?
separate
A
page of
person,
the
a
spreadsheet
person that
for
you've
those
got to
people.
pay in that way, they're gonna come back to
Yeah,
you.
that's probably true.
Like if you're paying them hush money so that they will
Yeah,
never
but you
come
have a
back
lawyer
to you.
draft up a contract.
Like, here's 20
guess.
grand. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
For money.
This is all you
ever
got.
again. Like,
I
that's it.
ever.
never want to see you again.
That's so mean. But
the
it's
only way you can accept this money is if you never talk to me again.
if you never
Yeah.
call me, you
I
never
mean,
cross
I would.
paths.
I
If
would
you
get
talk
off
to me
all
again-
social medias though immediately.
Would you?
If I won the lottery, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, because people would not want to see all your lifestyle anymore. You wouldn't want them to see it and be
I
jealous.
wouldn't want them to
No,
see
he
it.
would suddenly be hiding from the paparazzi because he'd be living that lavishly.
I would have
Everyone
a
would-
large enough island with cannons on it. They wouldn't
What
come
is your deal
knocking.
with cannons? This
I
is
don't
the
know,
second
just
time you brought up
Why
cannons.
are you talking about so many cannons?
How cool would it be to have a
Are you
cannon?
talking like a cannon that launches you into the ocean and then you got to swim back? Like a
No,
fun little
no,
game
just
for you to play?
Like Sea of Thieves.
a cannon to like like Sea of Thieves, exactly.
Yeah.
Jeremy's just gonna live Sea of Thieves
Yeah.
after he becomes a
That
millionaire.
would be awesome.
Like, you know how much I paid to have my hand surgically removed so I could get this hook? I had to pay a doctor in Tijuana $30,000.
He's creating his own sovereign state on his island
Yeah.
wherever he buys, and if anyone gets close to it, he's gonna shoot him with cannons.
I got cannons everywhere. I got so many cannons.
all the cannons.
So many.
He just like oddly thinks that's some sort of value on his livelihood, like on his life. Like he just
Right?
brags to people about his
Like
cannon.
how many people own a cannon,
Like,
right?
cannon currency.
I have
I got
10.
the best cannons.
I got so many cannons, you don't even know. Okay.
It's all
We're,
good.
gonna, we're gonna have great cannons.
We're gonna have cannon parties, tiki parties where we shoot
They'll
cannons
be able
at
to
dolphins.
shoot ships.
Kyle, you can shoot dolphins finally in real life.
Oh, okay. I'm in. I'm in. Let's do this.
Yeah,
Get
that's
some
not
cannons.
that's not happening.
I don't know what Kyle hates dolphins for. Why-
I don't. I don't understand why you guys got so
Kyle,
bent out of
if I
shape
gave
over
you
that.
money and you decided to go dolphin hunting, you're out of the friend circle completely.
I mean,
all right, gone. In fact, the next season will be Kyle hunting season.
did you hear this?
Right.
So there we go. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna get $10,000 to never talk to Jeremy again.
Why do
all
you
because,
think it'd be 10?
All because I
Oh my
played a video game and I did something that the video game allowed, which technically
You're
would
using a
be the
Jeremy
way that
argument
Jeremy-
right now.
The way that Jeremy would play a game. So I
Listen.
don't understand Jeremy's problem with this.
Listen, it's not GTA, but I probably would say, let's do that for real. I'm gonna buy everyone cars so that we can go crash them.
Like a demolition derby on your property.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just make sure that they've got good harnesses and everything so that we
Nope.
don't break any necks.
Not Kyle's. Because
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
dolphin
great.
shooting.
I heard
It was an accident, a freak accident.
I've heard of like
Uh-huh.
I was listening to a podcast where these people said they went to like a media event for a video game release, and this was like in the early 2000s when video game companies spent a lot more money on these lavish
Sure.
events, and they like had them come out to a demolition derby where all the press were driving the cars and they let them smash into each other, which is
That's insane.
yeah. Anyways, Jolliver's in the chat. He's letting us know that it's $9 in Nebraska, $7.25 in Iowa, and our highest in our country is $13.25 in Washington D.C.
But I thought 15 was in some places.
No, that's what they're pushing for. That's what
I thought
everybody's.
there was some places like in California that already
no,
did it.
I don't.
Like cities or
Maybe,
something like that.
maybe
not
it's like a
states.
Maybe
county
cities,
or
but like
county.
it's
And
like
DC's not a
1050.
state anyway.
No. You know, his sentiment is our country sucks at this, and I mean, yeah, but even if you're making like $7.25 an hour, which sucks and it's not possible to live off of, like I get that. That's not possible to like
Right.
raise a family and like anything. Like it's still like more than like what 80 to 90% of the world makes, like
True.
on average. Which I
But
mean,
again, their cost of living is significantly
Sure,
lower too,
but
and they live in a place where
they live
their
a dirt floor,
that
and,
amount goes
whatever.
further.
But
Yeah.
I think that part of the disappointment and disillusion in seeing the fact that people make so little is the fact that the people at the top of every single one of those jobs is making money that would make Jeremy's Wonderland look like they're making like he's got
Disneyland.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's where I think it's the grossest, because it's like
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's like
you're an
that's,
I don't know,
executive
Kyle.
of a business.
I don't know, Kyle. If you built something on your own and it's doing well, shouldn't you do well?
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of those people are doing beyond well.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot
So
of
they
people
should
that are not
stop
doing.
doing
Well,
beyond well.
I just think that there is a great divide, and I mean, there's all the people that are doing the work that allows that one person that owns the company, or those group of people that own the company, to make a large living. Oftentimes don't get compensated in a
Sure.
way that's a livable expense, because everything is about trying to make the least, or spend the least amount of money so that the person at top can make the most money.
But what can you do? You can't make a law that says, hey,
Yeah.
this person has to.
I mean, you
No.
could if you were a socialist,
yeah, but I mean, you can't make them.
and I mean
do
that
it.
I'm not saying like Democrat, Republican.
But I'm just saying, yeah, you got
like
people.
a true
Right.
like socialist
these
mentality. I mean,
people
that's
that-
what it is in Russia, right?
You've got people that
You
own,
make what the government tells you you get.
Yeah, I mean, you got these people that make billions of dollars a year, if not trillions, and they don't have to.
Not the main trillionaires.
Well, I mean, I mean, they're not that many. No, you're right, but it's mostly billionaires. But still, whatever. I guess I'm thinking of. I was watching the thing. What's the guy? Oh my gosh, the guy that's really the Saudi dude. That's real like kind of buddy, the Trump's buddy with. He's super rich,
yeah.
and he's trying to build that
That
city.
prince guy.
Yeah, the prince. Anyways,
The Prince of Saudis.
but
That's oil money.
yeah,
So.
but it's just one of those things where it's like, what do you do to change it? I agree that it's gross, and it's like those people have this money that they're not using at all.
Right.
Like it's just sitting in a bank somewhere. Like it's not.
Well, and that's
They're using it to maybe like draw interest off of it, but
They're using it to make more money.
yeah. But that's
And the other
that's
part
the
of
end of it.
the
It's
other
just
part of it that
accumulating
sucks.
wealth that isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, and the other part of it that sucks is that you look across. The job force, and the first thing that places cut when things get rough is people's salaries, or just cut jobs in general.
Yeah.
Rather than
True.
being like, hey, we can weather this if the few guys at top, make like 1 million less a year
Yeah.
than they do, and not have to like eliminate.
It's kind of the same reason why Congress gets to work. Senators work for 6 years and representatives for 4, and they get to make a living for the rest of their life because
Yeah.
they're the ones who made that decision.
Right.
Because they're the ones who made the law that says we get to get paid for the rest of our lives, whether
Right.
we stay in this job or not. So it's that's the answer. It's because the people who made it decide.
Yeah,
But I think to Kyle's point is he's talking about more the private sector where it's like these people
Yeah.
have so much money, and not to say
Yeah.
that the politicians aren't making laws and becoming buddies with these
right.
billionaires.
I mean, on both accounts, there's all kinds of like really kind of gross things that are happening.
But I think
But-
the like a lot of people, especially like you hear this sentiment a lot with like Generation Z. I think is like, well, those people should just give us money. Like
And
they
should
just give us money. Like,
That's the other side of it, right?
and it's like that doesn't work either though,
Right.
because like that's the thing. It's like how do you shouldn't just get money. Like that's not how it works. Like it's,
Right.
So it's just like how do you fix it? Like even if you look at someone like a Bezos or whatever, and you say, hey, let's give all of his whatever he's worth. Like let's split it up between everybody. It doesn't go that far. Like eventually
it
it
doesn't.
runs.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Eventually it
go-
runs out.
And so it's just what's the solution to it? I get what you're saying though. Like if
But-
some,
But
if
I
some
would
of
say
the,
there's a lot of people who are at that top 0.001%. The majority of their funds are actually locked up in business ventures and things like that.
Sure, there are a lot of those things, but at the same time,
Which
I
means
mean,
they're
it's
giving more people jobs.
Potentially.
potentially. But I mean, with the way that you look at different businesses and like the fact that stores are closing down because people are buying stuff online, and it's like, great, we don't have to have as many people that we have to pay to work in the capacity of doing that, and instead of creating other jobs within what their business is doing, and finding a way to still employ as many people as they did, it's like this. Great, we don't have to pay people now to do all of these jobs, and instead of just kind of finding places for these people to work in a way that they're actually contributing to what the company is doing and keeping jobs in the economy, it takes it out. So I mean, it's a tough place to be, and rather than looking at a lot of other things that could be done to eliminate waste and other things.
Yeah.
It's usually people that are the first ones that get hit with business decisions and costs and cuts.
Because they're at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, it is weird. You wonder like if you were able to distribute the wealth in a way that was somewhat on Jeremy's spreadsheet fashion.
It
to
still
where-
wouldn't be fair,
But
right?
yeah, I mean, it still wouldn't be fair. But let's say it's not equal. Like we all get the equal. But could you distribute it in a way that was in relation to people that like even the people on the bottom could still live comfortably and not have to like worry about where their next meal is going to come from or how they're going to support their family.
But that's actually part of the problem, because as more wealth is generated for anyone, and in the United States we're at a point where there's more millionaires that are effectively considered upper middle class and not considered upper class anymore, and that's because there's thousands of millionaires in the United States now. I mean, it's the highest. There's more millionaires in the United States than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And so and that's because of our economy and all these other things. And so in some respect, people with money want to have nicer things and spend money on nicer things, which makes cost of living go up for everyone.
Yeah.
And so really the solution isn't to give everyone more money, because money, if you ask the government, they can just make as much as they want.
Money,
but
money.
but
the libertarian
at some
side of me
point
wants to
it
say
goes
it's all
up-
make
it goes
believe,
upside
right?
down.
Money's all
I
just
mean,
make
money
believe.
is all make believe.
Right now it is.
Because it doesn't.
No,
it's-
I mean, money is 100% make believe.
no,
It is
it used
whatever.
to be based on the
No,
gold
it's
standard.
credit.
Yeah, but
you're right.
It's all based on whatever valuation is put on that gold. That gold in and of itself
But not
doesn't
anymore,
That's
matter.
because it's trade. It's
but
a representation of trade.
That's what I'm saying, though. It is a thing that is based on whatever
Okay,
has the value.
You're getting really philosophical, though, if you're just saying, like, well, it's just something we all agreed on, which is true.
Sure.
Like, it's something we all made, like, if somebody made it up and now we all agreed this is what we want to do.
Right.
And we,
leaving the gold standard, different story, but
yeah. It's crazy. It is insane, and there's probably a better way.
I mean, I fall in the Keynesian camp when it comes to economics.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Who's Kenzie?
You do or not.
Yeah.
And
would
why
like
are you
to-
in their camp?
Would you like to go ahead and elaborate on that
Yeah,
a little bit,
please.
Jim?
No, I just heard that term one time. And I totally.
He has
I was
no idea what
I
that
was hoping to
means.
call your bluff, and I think I did.
I was hoping you would. I was trying to sound snooty.
Root Tootie.
I know stuff.
But Twitch is in the chat and says, "Hey guys, howdy to you."
How is that?
Howdy.
We have to say howdy in honor of Red Dead. I know
Howdy.
Howdy.
I know this isn't a video game podcast, but
Do you think they
howdy.
all said howdy back then?
I like to imagine that. I know they didn't, but I like to imagine that.
I think. Do you think they said hey?
Howdy,
I think they just tipped their hat, like,
ma'am,
know.
m'lady.
I mean, touching the hat. That's not nearly as formal as
A little
grabbing the
tip.
brim and tipping it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like a good brim grab.
That's right.
A little
Yeah.
brim job.
So Keynesian economics, for those that were curious, it's based after theories of John Maynard Keynes, who said capitalism is a good economic system. In a capitalist society, people earn money from their work. Businesses employ and pay people to work. Then people can spend their money on things they want. The
I was
problem-
right.
Yes, and
That is
I
what
agree.
I
I think the
attest to.
problem is a lot of times now, in the way that things have shifted, now the people are trying to make money without paying any people or paying as few people to do work as possible, which eliminates a lot of the money that is there to spend.
It doesn't help that you like imagine this Scrooge McDuck character who's just like twisting his mustache and polishing his monocle and he's like thinking about how could I pay people less and make more money and make the product cheaper. Ooh.
But at some point, at some point, you pay what people are willing to accept.
Think about it. The perfect example of that is that we're in a culture now where Google and Apple have convinced people they need to spend over $1,000 every year on a new phone.
Exactly.
On a new device. Every year we need to spend $1,000.
And guess what? I guarantee a whole bunch of those people are on minimum wage.
And it's not well, I don't think they're on minimum wage, but I think
there's plenty of people with nice phones on minimum wage, no doubt.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that, but I think that it's insane that wherever they are in the economic bracket, they buy them in droves. Every year, new device, people go buy it. And it's looked at as the norm now, and it's been set that. But I think that's that higher standard of living, and now it's like this is what we have to have. We can't survive without it. This is just the new normal.
That's what I mean, though. You could argue that from last night. That people could earn a living on that if they did not have those extras. Or if they considered those to be extras and not essentials.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that the way that society has changed in the way that you view your smartphones and the availability of technology and information, it's almost like any utility anymore. Like your water, like your electricity that everyone should be able to have.
But why? I mean, what are you using it for? You see what I mean? You're not using it as a phone. How many people actually use their phone as a phone? The majority of the time.
I guess what I'm saying is the idea of the world where now you can get information about any and everything like that. And so that's something that you are at a complete disadvantage if you don't have that. I mean, how many times have you said, well, just Google, like, why don't you Google that first? Like, that's something that people literally have in their phone, in their pockets or in their purses at all times, being able to get answers to anything, literally anything in the world that they want to look up.
Yeah. It's it's just the way. I mean, it's become more of a necessity in some ways. I understand that, like the internet has and things.
Almost 17 years ago, when I got married, the first year of marriage, our income that year was $17,000.
Joint income,
Joint income.
Yeah.
And that was only just 16, 17 years ago. And that averages out to a 40-hour work week at $8.17 an hour. And you know what? We were like going out to eat all the time, and like I felt like we were freer with our money then than with what I make now, which is a high amount compared to that.
Yeah.
With a family of four.
Well, I think some of it too is the fact that.
But when you say going out to eat, you're not like. We weren't going to like the fancy restaurant.
No, and I didn't own a house, but I was paying rent that was more than I pay on my mortgage.
Yeah.
So you see, I mean, we both had car payments. We both have car payments now. So there was a lot of things that, I don't know, I felt like I was freer with money then than I am now. And it's one of those, like, the more you have, the more you spend.
I think you also have seen a lot more like inflation and type of stuff too.
Absolutely.
I'm not over the last 15 years.
That, but there's no way that it's gone to that level of inflation in that
period
of time.
But at the same time, you haven't seen minimum wages raise across the country either to match that. So you've consistently seen that inflation move where the bottom line should be, and the economy has not kept up as far as paying people.
Well, again, that's what inflation is, right? It's when people can afford to pay more, they will. And that's a part of it. That's really dumbing it down. But so in some respect, inflation is happening because there are more wealthy people in the United States.
And I think as your income changes, you, like you said, you find ways to spend that money.
Absolutely.
And it's like it's the theory of what I like to use example of is a TV, like especially like if you own a 27-inch TV and you upgrade to a 32-inch, you're never going to go back to a 27-inch. Your next TV is going to be
a 40.
at least equal, if not bigger.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so once you keep doing that, and then let's say, down the road, you're finally at a 55-inch TV, you're looking at, man, the 65 is like $1,000 more than the 55. So like, but I really want it. And so at some point,
Exactly.
you're never going back down to that
Quantity
smaller
of
TV.
scale keeps going
Like if
higher.
you had a 65-inch TV and then all of a sudden you brought home a
80,
27-inch TV
120.
and you're just sitting like, hey,
Yeah.
family, look it. And you just got rid of that big one. You just put a little 27 in.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, what's going on? Dad lost his mind. We can't. This is too small. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep,
And,
absolutely.
and so it's just that thing of like, as you go, it's just Jolliver says similar economic standing due to sugar consumption. That's
Yeah,
probably
because
true.
he's talking about a gummy worms
Yeah.
system. I asked how many gummy worms to tub bucks. He said 1-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
Because of the similar economics.
That
I
makes sense.
agree. There's a lot of sugar in tub bucks. So
High
real
sugar
sweet,
content.
high sugar
A lot of
content.
carbs.
Gives you what you need.
Yeah. Speaking of sugar, Kuipers.
But it
What you want?
it is
Something from over there.
it's hard to, because you want to think there's an easy solution, and there never is.
Right.
No.
But I feel like you can't be dismissive of people who are trying to make a living and
Absolutely.
earning minimum wage. And like when you say, oh, like, because I'll hear people say, well, why would you raise the what is going on? Kyle's
Trying
like,
to signal
just
7
say
Up without
7 Up
saying it.
instead of doing it for an hour,
So
giving
you're
him
like,
hands
were you doing
twice.
this? 7 Up.
He was still confused.
He was Kuipers. What are we paying you for?
He doesn't know sign
don't
language,
pay
okay? Especially whatever trailer trash redneck sign language you were giving him.
It was a 7.
And obviously, you do 7 this way.
7 up.
No, but I think that you hear people who are like, "Oh, you see these people out here saying they want us to pay them $15 for flipping burgers. Well, I don't need that for flipping burgers, blah blah blah." And it's like that's like the grossest standpoint you can take,
Yeah.
because you have people who literally don't have a choice. Like, I get it. There is probably at some point there is a weird minimum wage filtration system where it's like, hey, these people are not responsible. These people are bad
Sure.
employees across the board. There's just different people that are not.
But then they're
going
going to stop working and live on welfare, which means
and
we're
it's-
going to pay
it's
for them
funny 'cause
anyway.
you think about like
I mean,
McDonald's.
but eventually, there are people that are really good employees. You want to imagine, oh, they're going to make it up the ranks.
You
want to
imagine that, absolutely.
but it doesn't work that way always.
But- well,
not
it's-
always.
No.
And not in all industries. It's
But
not
whether
the
it could
same-
be race,
It's not the same across all industries either.
it could be race, it could be gender, but whatever reason, the person might just be like, I'm not promoting you. I don't like you, whatever. And they could be
Yeah.
the best employee ever, and they don't go anywhere.
Well, sometimes the best employees don't get promoted, and the reason is because they're really good at that job.
Yeah, that's terrible.
it's-
But you know
it's-
what?
It's a fact.
true.
The
Absolutely.
problem with that type of mentality is then there's no way for them to earn more and be able to continue to be rewarded for the fact that they are doing a great job in that job.
Not
that's
at
what,
that
that's
company.
What, that's
Yeah.
what kind of the point we're making is that
it's just terrible. And I think sometimes even like when you're thinking about the flipping burgers, I think that a large chunk of people, when you think about what's at McDonald's, like who's working at McDonald's when you drive through the drive-through
They don't
there.
flip burgers though.
Whatever. The fact remains,
beep, beep, boop.
you've got that idea of like how many teenagers have
Microwaving
messed up your stuff as you're going
Yeah.
through. And the fact of the matter is, how many of those people that work there are actually like in high school? Not a lot of them, because most of them that are working throughout the day are adults who are making their living.
if they're a high schooler, they should be in high school. Like,
Yeah,
we're just
exactly.
going to school.
So you've got maybe in your evening there's
and
more.
and holidays and
But
weekends. and
the sad part is a lot of those people that are
Summer.
working at the cash register or the drive-through that are not teenagers are probably not making that much more than the teenagers that come in the afternoon
probably
after school
not
and
at all.
work.
Yeah, probably no more.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's the job and that's the amount that they're
And if they work at Walmart, they're not even getting insurance.
Right.
I mean, except for on the exchange,
Yeah.
if they can afford it.
It's just it is a weird it's a weird thing that people who don't take the time to understand it, and I'm not saying I do, but I feel like you have to try to be at least sympathetic of what's going on and try to say what you can't just throw your thought out there and just be like, oh, well, they should do this, or oh, they don't deserve that, or this whatever. It's like, I mean, a lot of times people will argue raising the minimum wage won't solve the problem, and it's like, I don't know enough about economics to say why. That doesn't make sense to me that wouldn't help, but also, I understand.
It means they'll spend more money.
Sure.
That's why GDP, right? Gross domestic product.
Yeah.
That's basically saying, hey, people spent more money, so that means the economy's doing better because you make more money, you spend more money. Like you were saying, as you grow in your career or whatever else, and you make more money, you don't feel like you have more money, but that's because you spend more money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a bummer. We got a couple weird stories to go through tonight. This one I brought up just because of it's surreal, it's weird, it's dark, I can't help because maybe I'm twisted, but find a little bit of humor in this. But
yeah, we're a little twisted.
I can't help myself.
I have no idea. I didn't read any of these.
So I heard about this story this afternoon. I got an alert on my phone, and I was like, what is this? The headline said, well, this is kind of a quote. It says, "It shook me to the core. Preteen girls plan to kill classmates, drink blood, police say." And so
that happens all the time.
No, it really doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't.
So
No.
So this, I'm just gonna go. We don't need to read the story.
I wasn't gonna read it. But I mean.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to kind of riff off of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, so here's the thing that struck me. It's like, all right, I'll give you a quick overview. 11 and 12-year-old
Okay.
are
Hide in the bathroom.
self-proclaimed Satanists. They've been texting each other a plan to kill they're hoping to kill 15 smaller students that they can overpower when they come into the bathroom. They're going to hide in the bathroom, wait for them to come in there. They're going to kill them, drink their blood, cut them up as much as possible, and spread their
Leave
body parts around.
everywhere.
Yeah. See, the more you cut them up, you're going to lose blood. I just want. So
Well, I know, but they want
keep
to.
that
They
in
don't.
mind.
They don't care.
Jeremy, we don't need to teach them how to do
I
it.
mean, what does that matter? They're just saying they want to drink some of the blood.
you can get
whatever.
a bicycle pump and a couple of hoses. And,
Anyways,
a needle.
But what the thing is, they were
Sorry.
they're planning this out, and it's like, they said that they wanted to make sure to do this heinous act and drink the blood, and then they were going to commit suicide. That way, it would guarantee their place in hell, so that they could spend eternity with Satan.
I mean, a lot of people would agree that that's what that would do.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like they were trying to solidify that because of they were Satanists and they're committing to
That
this.
was their goal.
But they said that they didn't show up to their first class or whatever, or to class, whatever. I don't know, what are you, 11? That's like 5th grade or 6th grade or something like
Yeah,
5th grade. I
yeah.
think. And so they didn't show up to class. Someone went looking for them, found them in the bathroom, and the thing that made me giggle a little bit is that they found him.
Same thing that probably made me giggle.
They found him in the bathroom with knives and a goblet. And I'm thinking, I just imagine them like hiding on top of the toilet, like holding a goblet. Then the other thing that really made me chuckle is for some reason, this detail is written into this article. They're like, they had a goblet, they had multiple knives, they had a knife sharpener, and
Well,
here's
to
the
cut a-
no, wait, no,
That's
just wait,
and-
just chill out. A pizza cutter. What the heck? I was so freaked out. I was so freaked out when I read this story. I was like, this is disturbing. And then I got to the part where
the pizza cutter.
they had a pizza cutter.
Keep in mind they're 11 and 12.
A pizza cutter can barely cut a pizza. Like, I mean,
It's a pressure-related blade.
How many times have you messed up a pizza because of your pizza cutter?
I know.
I've messed up numerous pizzas.
So in my dark, twisted mind, I imagine a teacher coming in and finding them both pinning down a kindergartner and just rolling this pizza cutter over them and not doing anything. And I was like, I mean, that's terrible. But it's
That
just
was terrible.
Tenderizing.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like a lime
it's
when
like-
you want to get more juice out of it. You gotta.
It's terrible.
Okay,
It's
science.
disturbing, but it was just but that takes you into the little bit of like the psyche of an 11 and 12-year-old. Like they're thinking of these things. They're obviously like went down a dark path somehow.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, we're gonna bring a pizza cutter because why not? I guess like we have knives and things, and we might get hungry for pizza. Anyways,
They were both
have it
arrested and
available.
removed from campus
yeah.
as well. So who?
Don't be a Satanist.
Yeah.
Well,
Or I mean, if you're gonna be, don't be one of those
Don't
that's a
be
jerk.
as Jolliver said,
Don't
as
cut
Jolliver
people
said,
up.
can't be not jerk and be a Satanist.
Hey, Guilfoyle is a Satanist on Silicon Valley, and he seems like he's an okay
I think
dude.
he's a
Well,
he's
that's
a
the
poser.
thing, right?
He
Well, I think
probably
these two
is.
kids are posers, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Jolliver
I don't know.
said.
They had a pizza cutter.
It's true. Like Jolliver said, I'm assuming he meant they don't know that's not how Satan worship works, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, I think, but they wanted to guarantee whatever it was. They wanted to guarantee that they were going to hell.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I think they would have. I mean, if they would have done something, I mean,
I think they got a lot of different things mixed up together that,
Yeah.
that didn't add up right.
It's a dark, twisted thing, and I mean, it's so weird when these stories come out right around Halloween. It makes me wonder, like how the news, like, do they jump on
They're
it
looking
extra
for it
harder
because-
because of that? They're like, oh, we gotta just get this out.
Yeah,
See,
this is the
it's
one we need to get.
timely.
It's
Yeah.
Halloween time. Let's get this
yeah.
one.
That's the editors. They're like, okay, guys, find me something about like 11, 12-year-olds.
I
pizza
don't.
cutters.
I doubt they're saying 11, 12-year-olds.
I'm saying,
that
I
are
feel
waiting
like,
to pizza cut someone to death.
I know.
and let's make this a little
any-
bit lighthearted. Add a pizza cutter.
If anybody's gonna kill someone with a pizza cutter, it's gonna be Papa John. He's bitter about getting fired.
True.
He's gonna be hiding in a bathroom at a Papa John's.
I mean, he
and
made
just
that-
waiting to kill people.
he made that secret sauce.
And yeah, he's just like, hell Satan, and he just rubs a pizza cutter on your
man.
face.
Was that the horns? Did you just flag the horns?
Oh,
Yeah,
a
you
pizza
did.
cutter.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we all know Papa John worships Satan. I mean, that's just normal. That's common. That's like common sense.
Because the pizza's so good?
You can quote me on that. Papa John worships Satan.
I just saw our hand motions on the like delayed Twitch, and it didn't look right. Trying to do the
Thanks,
pizza
Kyle.
cutters.
Thanks, Kyle. That was
It
a
cracked
great. That
me
was
up.
great commentary.
I was just
You
letting all
should
those-
probably not be watching that because
Yeah, I
nobody
shouldn't.
cares.
Nobody cares.
No, it's okay, Kyle. It's fun. I
just
like it
made-
when
it cracked me up.
I like when the moving pictures.
The moving pictures get my
distracts
attention
you,
sometimes.
And it makes you
and-
get,
You said you had another story.
I
do.
know, but we're running out of time.
Oh, we gotta do
we
this
gotta do
one.
this. Okay.
Yeah, because Stay
Hi-
Hydrated bot told
All right.
us to leave.
All
It's
right.
been an hour.
We're gonna just nominate this person for the 404. There's no voting. This is it. Go,
Yeah,
Kuipers.
they win.
What? Me? Why?
404.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
No intelligence found.
Does he know he's dumb?
There's something seriously wrong with you.
Wouldn't want to embarrass yourself in front of your fellow perverts.
You don't deserve the air you breathe, buddy.
Here's this week's nomination for the hardest 404ing on the internet.
All right, here we go. So this guy is just an honorary inductee. We're not even going to vote for him. Here's the headline from Omaha.com. This is a local story for us. It says Omaha man was waving rubber band gun and quacking like a duck outside of a Bluffs Arby's.
He pleaded guilty in
that's a
Potawatomi County
six-shooter.
Court on Wednesday to trespassing and disorderly conduct after police say he was seen Tuesday night waving a rubber band gun at a gas station customers while quacking like a duck. He was sentenced to 1 day in jail with credit for time served. He was ordered to pay court costs and fees. It was reported on Tuesday night at about 7:13 p.m. That I might have actually driven by this. He was outside of the gas station, holding a rubber band gun and waving it at patrons and quacking like a duck and talking to himself. Police found the man standing in line in Arby's nearby and detained him. Police said that he showed them then where he had placed the rubber band gun in bushes near the gas station.
I hid the weapon in the bushes. Quack.
So he got arrested for disorderly conduct, right?
Disorderly quacking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quacking in public.
Disorderly quack duck.
Yeah. So he was pointing it at other people, and then he then walked towards the Arby's and feared that he was going to attempt a robbery, so they called the police, and they found him standing in line waiting for a sandwich or something.
Well, there you go. Also, I'd like to point out that Jolliver has shared in the chat a pizza cutter that has a pentagram on it, and also a T-shirt that says Hail Pizza, or it is a Hail Pizza Pentagram Pepperoni Slice T-shirt, which is pizza made into it. Satanic symbols. Thanks for sharing that.
What on earth is that, Kuipers? He just put up a picture
That's
of a
illegal.
It's like a
Fully auto.
fully auto,
fully auto rubber band gun.
Yeah, isn't it great?
All right, as always, you guys can email us at not the loop. This is the TUBCast. You can send us an email to TUBCast at minuteandtub.com, TUBCast at minuteandtub.com, or you can call us and leave us a voicemail at 475-TUB-CALL. That's 475-TUB-CALL. We will play your quacks online and talk about them. You can send us a topic that you'd like us to discuss.
With
or
our
if
discretion.
If you'd like some advice, we're very good at advice. But before we go, we must thank our lovely Patreon peeps. These are all the lovely individuals who donate at the co-producer or level. That means they donate $10 or more every single month on patreon.com/MinuteTub. You too could be a lovely individual like them and donate of your monetary gains.
Did you get that ticket? We'll take more.
Yeah, well, you can. You know, if you're the one that won the lotto, the mega lotto, the 1.6 billion.
Yeah. Put us on your spreadsheet.
Or if you're a patron, then you get to eat chips in Jeremy's new studio.
Chips and dip.
When he earns the millions.
Yeah.
He's gonna slide it to you in a weird like prison tray under a door to this like studio audience food.
Everybody has to
I
fight
like
for it.
that
And
idea.
it's like here, have some
It
chips.
just scoots under.
It's the Hy-Vee brand French onion dip.
You're officially a part of the show.
All right, no, but thank you for all your support. Like God of Atheists and Jay Oliver, they were lovely people who support us and keep us going, and probably enable us in some dark way that we probably it's probably
true.
not
It's
healthy.
true.
Like I mean, if they weren't there, we'd probably just retire. Anyways,
Thank you.
real
Keeping
quick,
our dream alive.
all right, let's go. We're gonna leave
Next
and I'm gonna
week?
go ahead and I'll do that. We'll get it. I was
Okay.
getting there. I just wanted
You-
you to play
you
the
wanted me
music.
to play the music.
I just wanted you to play the music. I didn't
Pressing
forget
the button.
Play the music. That's right, everybody. Don't forget, next week is going to be weird. No loop audio, no TUBCast audio. So if you listen to either of these shows on audio, they're not going to be there because we're going to be preparing for Extra Life, which is going to be happening next Friday at 7 p.m., November 2nd, where we stream for 24 hours.
gonna be amazing.
Make sure, though, that you're not just tuned out, because if you watch the live streams, you want to be part of that. Jeremy's going to be doing a special Halloween Call of Duty Zombies stream on Wednesday night.
That was a ghost, not a zombie.
9
That's
p.m.
no
like
zombie.
normal. And also at 9 p.m. next Thursday, a week from today, we will be doing a special hype show to get you hyped for Extra Life. It's going to be a bunch of clips of us doing crazy, stupid, fun things that we've done over the years.
If you're new and you're like, who are these guys? Watch that show for sure.
Yeah.
You'll feel like you're part of the game.
Hopefully some of us will be in the chat if we're not sleeping or playing Red Dead. But we
You'll
will...
be in the chat and playing Red Dead.
We can do both.
Yeah.
But come and watch that, and we'll see you next week at Extra Life. So hold on to your butts. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but make sure you watch the Thursday night highlight clip show. It's going to be really good. It's going to be funny. Stuff you forgot about. Kiss your mom.